China AMC, which is the Hong Kong arm of China's #2 fund firm, rolls out the world's first renminbi tokenized money fund. Talk to us about the demand for this product and whether or not this is an indication that China is softening its stance on crypto, because we've seen recently what's going on with Guotai Junan International. This stock is listed in Hong Kong, being given a license to trade crypto. The stock has jumped fivefold in just a couple of weeks since this license was granted. What's going on with China AMC?
I think it's more of the whole idea that with regard to the broadly defined crypto market, Hong Kong is clearly being positioned as a, what do they call it, a sandbox, where you can go in and you can try certain new products or certain new services. And, it's interesting to see that, pretty much to the day when the United States rolls out its Genius Bill and stablecoins under U.S. dollars are going to become a pretty significant force within the, again, broader crypto space, that you would have a renminbi-denominated product. Where's the demand, though? I mean, that's really the issue. Because if you look at something like a U.S. dollar stablecoin, particularly Tether, which is the largest amongst all, it's really about facilitating trade. The ability to use USDT or Tether to essentially have fast settlement, instantaneous settlement. I'm very well aware that even here locally, suppliers in places like WE or elsewhere, there is a pickup in terms of U.S. dollar stablecoin usage, because settlement plus the issue of transaction costs are very low. So when you look at the renminbi stablecoin option, I had to, go and look at, as a benchmark, how much renminbi is actually right now in Hong Kong. And, the HKMA is showing that it's back to 1 trillion renminbi that is sitting in bank savings. But it was 1 trillion 10 years ago, and it fell off, and it's only just come back. So I think it's great, but I think it's super important, as you alluded to. China has, as a policy decision apparatus, has made their position quite clear on their view of crypto, and it's not positive. So, we still have the stablecoin locally, or the CBDC, the E, C, and Y. No one's using that simply because everybody uses Alipay and WeChat. So I think it's interesting to see a development such as this China AMC product, but I just can't really identify where the demand drivers might be.
So this is basically creating a product to yield. Basically, it's going to create yield from these stable coins. And, some are asking me when we had Ledger, this is a company that makes the wallets for digital currencies. And the CEO was asking me, do you think China will soften its stance on cryptocurrencies? And I boldly told him, no, I didn't think so at that time. This was a couple months ago. And with all that it's doing now, maybe not crypto, maybe not Bitcoin, but there is stable coins here, because it's going to be linked to actual fiat currencies, be it yuan, be it Hong Kong dollar. You don't think that China is softening its stance towards accepting this mode of digital currency?
Well, I mean, if you phrase it like that, then most certainly it is softening its approach to the space. And I think it's always fascinating. I have a fun time with people when I talk about Hong Kong, because I'll ask people, is Hong Kong China or not China? And people are like, oh, it's part of China. And my response is, well, it's actually both. It really depends on the policy that's being discussed. And this is a classic example of China saying, well, we don't want to do this in the mainland, but we're going to allow Hong Kong to tinker around the margins and see what can come of it. So surely this is, I think, a positive. I think, quite frankly, China's approach to crypto is anachronistic in a digital world. I think ultimately, crypto will become, even if it's sort of under the radar, a part of the ecosystem here. There's already a pretty significant P2P market for cryptos locally. So I think, this is just a movement in the right direction. But in terms of real policy acceptance by Beijing, I don't anticipate that occurring anytime in the near future.